Hello everyone and welcome back to the Tabletop Tactician and a new announcement for something entirely new. So this is a new tutorial scenario for Global War 1985. This is titled Tutorial Scenario 1 and Bloody Sands is the name of given to the scenario. So for this inaugural solitaire game here, I am going to call it Operation Bloody Sands in its honor. So we're going to go ahead and tilt you over here and you will see a whole new setup. So I'm going to read through the quick blurb of rules here from War Doctor. Thank you again, sir, for the honor of this. And we'll get everything set up here, go over it, hopefully answer any questions you have on this. So, Bloody Sands is Tutorial Scenario 1 for Global War 1985 V2. So we are on the V2 rules here, and these will be different than what you've seen from me in Grimtide. Those are an earlier version. We're now on the official V2 rule set for this one. So you'll notice a few little changes there, which we'll cover as we get there. And obviously these will be different from version 1.5, which is different from the released at time of this recording. So to go through the rules here. So this fast playing scenario allows players to quickly learn the basics of Global War 1985, including border skirmishes, surgical strikes, chemical weapons, and the capabilities of most air units. We'll have two major factions for the sake of this. We have the Iranians, which I'm using Chinese units for, and the Iraqis, which I'm using Warsaw Pact units for, and because I have the tiny map, I'm utilizing some army cards here for those, so you'll see that there. Note, we recommend playing with a Soviet major faction set for Iraq, either Warsaw Pact or Chinese pieces for Iran. Iran and Iraq roundels are available from HBG. So at the time of this recording, I don't have any, so I'm just using my Chinese and Warsaw Pact ones. You certainly don't have to for this. You don't need to get a whole special set of Iran and Iraq pieces. You can use the stand-in here just fine. So moving on down, turn order. This will be a variable turn. So at the start, which we'll roll at the end of this video, roll a single D12 to determine who goes first. 1 to 6 will be Iran, and 7 to 12 will be Iraq. So Iran and Iraq, along with their ally Syria, will begin the game at limited war. No other land or sea zones beyond Iran and Iraq are in play during this scenario. There are no random events, there is no diplomacy and insurgency. Game turns and ending conditions. On turn 4, the game ends on the roll of a 6 or less from a d12. Turn 5, it will end on a roll of 9 or less. And turn 6, the game automatically ends, so this will be a very quick playing game here. Victory conditions, the first player to occupy all of the enemy's land zones automatically wins. If the game ends on a variable roll, players earn 1 victory point per land zone of the enemy they control. So that's our setup there. So the Iranians have 4 zones, and with the addition of Syria, the Iraqis have 4 zones. So an even fight there. So let's go over the rest of the special rules here. So special technology rules. Technology is fixed with no research. Both Iran and Iraq have Chemical Warfare Doctrine Stage 1 and AMD Stage 1. So on my makeshift dashboards here, which I'm just using some army or build plates, I actually didn't have a Chinese one, so we'll cover the Soviet flag with the Chinese flag. So the scope of the tutorial, movement is limited to the 8 total land zones of Iran, Iraq, and Syria. Tehran, Eastern Iran, Shiraz, Tabriz, Syria, Mosul, Baghdad, and Basra. Combat movement restrictions. From the beginning of the game, both factions have no restrictions on non-combat movement. Combat movement is limited in turns 1 and 2. So special things here for those of you that are also going to use this to learn to play the game here. We'll cover this in detail here. So turn 1, both Iran and Iraq are required to launch a single surgical strike or facility strike on the enemy. So we can target any of these bases, or we can decide to hit a specific land zone, one side or the other. On turn 2, the first player is required to launch a border attack. The second player may retaliate with a border attack of their own. Each player is also allowed to launch a surgical or facility strike as they wish. They remove air units from the border attack. So we'll cover a border attack when we get there, and then you can continue from the turn previous onto the next there. So stay tuned, and I will cover that in detail as we get to it. And on turn 3, Iran and Iraq may attack one another without restriction. So with this, it'll be a slow build up, so you can learn the different things, how surgical and facility strike works, as well as border attacks, which are big, and all of those are some special rules there. So for the purpose of this scenario, treat Iran and Iraq as major factions. They may purchase any land or air unit except strategic bombers, and those restricted by faction or technology. So no naval fight here, strictly land and air. Then we're keeping out those strategic bombers, and then technology units such as the advanced air superiority fighter, since technology is fixed. So for the economy, Iran's starting IPP will be 20. Their base income is 3, 2 from Tehran, 1 from Shiraz. They also receive the following: a plus 17 wartime bonus income, and 2 IPP each for Basra, Mosul, Syria, and Baghdad. Iraq will be very similar there. So Iraq's starting IPP is 20. Their base income is also 3, 2 IPP for Baghdad, and 1 for Mosul. Iraq's wartime bonus will include 17 standard wartime bonus income, 3 IPP for Shiraz. So if they capture Shiraz, the oil there is in play. 3 IPP for Tehran, and 1 IPP each for Tabriz or Eastern Iran. Battle stars are also modeled in this, so we'll get to play with those. So land and air battle stars are eligible to be earned. Land will be winning a battle to capture an enemy land zone. Walk-ins do not count. That is a +1 battle star. Winning a land battle in defense of a land zone will be 2 battle stars. For air, an air superiority kill, regular combat, or interception by your fighter class units. That is 1 battle star per air superiority kill. Max damaging an army base, shipyard, or air base will be 2. And destroying 3 or more units in a surgical strike will also be 2. So a lot of these good core mechanics of the game are being modeled here. So very excited to start this with y'all here. Let's go ahead and roll for who will go first. So we'll get out, go with a nice blue die. And with that, a 2, that will be Iran. So the Iranians/Chinese will go first, and keep a lookout on this channel for the rest here. Thanks for watching, everyone. It's been the Tabletop Tactician.